Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Broyans Farm. I'm starting off here in the high tunnel. I just want to get some green tomatoes picked for the farm market. It's actually kind of a good thing to get some of the weight off of these guys. They're so full of tomatoes. I had to come down below and pick out of the lower high tunnel just because Dad wanted to spray the upper high tunnel for mites and everything like that. We don't obviously spray any more than we have to. We always get that questions at market, but if we don't spray, we're not gonna be getting near the harvest that we really should be or wanna get. So, you know, we gotta do it every now and then just to keep the plants healthy and the tomatoes looking nice. As you can see, this high tunnel is quite a bit smaller, but the tomatoes are doing just as good. This one has a vent fan, which is nice, especially for in this hot heat. Really keeps the air flowing nice. There's a nice cluster right there. If you can see them, I'm gonna go after. Yeah, these are beauties. Wow, this one's huge. Some of you guys were asking in my previous video if these tomatoes will turn red now after picking them, and they could possibly, but we're not picking them for that reason. We're picking them just because people like to make fried green tomatoes, and they obviously want the tomato green, and so we don't have any intentions of waiting or trying to wait to sell them when they turn red. We'll just pick them off red once they vine ripen in here. Also, I feel like you'll have a better flavor if you let them ripen on the vine. That's probably about enough, but it's hard to stop when they're so beautiful. Seems like every time I go in the high tunnel, when I come out, I gotta check out Pap's garden here. And every time it seems to double or triple in size. These peppers have all got little tiny baby peppers on them. Look at these, I think Hungarian hots. They've already got full-grown peppers on there. They just gotta bulk up now. The cherry tomatoes already have little cherry tomatoes on them. The big tomatoes, like we have in the high tunnel, are putting on little baby ones. And he did have radishes over here, but it looks to me like he already either harvested them all or just took them out. I don't really know. But yeah, I wanna say this is about the best his garden has ever done. Now this is a bell pepper. Obviously this one is turning red. Usually when they turn red that small, there's something wrong with it, but it's gonna be producing a lot more. So even if it does go bad, it's not that big of a deal. Next on the list is cultivating. We actually finally got some rain last night, only about 3/10 of an inch, but anything is better than nothing. And the reason I say about the rain is because we really didn't want to cultivate until we got some. And now we got just enough to where I can cultivate, but not too much to where it's too muddy to get into the field. So I've been cultivating for about the last half hour. Got like 8 rows done. It's actually going better than it did before just because there's a little bit of moisture in the soil now. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I do as good of a job as possible because I have a shoe going on this side and a shoe going on this side, or a point, whatever you want to call it. And I don't want to get too close to the onions or I could actually till that up and it's going to disturb the roots and it's going to die. But I want to get close enough to where if there is any weeds, you know, I'm going to kill them. So there's a fine line, you know, how close you can get. But, you know, I just do as good of a job as possible, and that's as far as it goes, really. And so you can see where like the fresh dirt is and how the rocks are like starting to dry out now from being tilled up. And then right over here is where I ended the last time. And you can see how, you know, it's kind of matted down from the recent rain. So I'm way over 3/4 now. I only have like 6 or 7 rows to go yet, and then I'll be finished up. These 2 petals right here is what drops my cultivator down into the ground. I can show you here in a second. And you can see it lower, and now I'm ready to go.
What are we doing? It's hot out here, babe. It's hot. Sit. Good girl. Hi, hon. Hello, good morning.
I just finished up cultivating. Dad's out in the field with the disc, just trying to level out some rows. I think where we had plastic and potatoes, all that kind of stuff, because we're gonna have soybeans going in the ground and we want the field to be nice before planting. What a great way to start out the day, checking the rain gauge. We got over an inch of rain last night, which is awesome. That means no more laying the irrigation pipe or needing to run it to water any of our fields. I don't know if you guys have been watching, but we harvested garlic once before, and now we're out here again because Mom sold out at the farm market, and Sammy is just starting to pull some out right now. Last time it was extremely dry, and now you can see with the rain we've got that they're coming out kind of in like a mud ball. And so we're just gonna go straight up the row, or she's gonna go straight up the row and pull them out. Pretty rooted in there. This is like average. This one's a little bit smaller, and this is a real nice one. That's a beauty. And then we'll kind of just give them a little bit of a shake and try and get those mud balls off of there. Ooh, that's a nice one. Yes, the garlic is weedy.
Very.
But we have this problem every year, and it's always the same kind of weed. And obviously you can't spray for the weeds.
Oh, little guy.
That's okay. with the garlic being here, and it's planted in the fall, so the only option we have is just weed whacking. And well, we didn't get a lot of that done either. Next step of the process is, well, we don't usually cut the roots off this time of year, but because they're so muddy, I don't really know what else to do with them. So I'm just cutting them off real quick, and then taking the stem, giving that a chop, and that's it. We'll probably go back and still rinse them off. But if you take and you peel it, which my hands are extremely muddy, it's nice and bright white. We grow two different varieties of garlic. We grow German white and Italian purple. But just from the appearance, I'm pretty sure we have a lot more of the German white. The purple obviously has more purple in the color, but these have a lot more white than the purple. So now is the cool part, because usually it almost just, the skin just peels right off with the pressure of the water. And then it just leaves you with that nice white bulb. I'm not gonna go crazy, but I wanna get that heavy dirt off. Do you think I should take that yellow layer off? Or leave it be? So you got this.
I think you should leave it be. It looks like it's right from the farm.
You take one layer off, and it's bright white and green.
It is more pretty doing it that way.
Leave a comment down below what you guys think.
I was gonna ask you to clean off my tootsies.
So I decided to just peel them all. I think they look way nicer. I also like them with the roots long on them, but too late. So we're back out here at the field by the golf course again today, where I had the corn maze. We had our cousin come and make rows for us to plant pumpkins, and when he did, he dug up some rocks, which obviously is not his fault. That's just what's in the ground, and we got to get him out of here because we don't want to be running our equipment over top of it. And so that's why we have the skid loader here, Sammy, my dad, and myself. And we're gonna go through and get, not obviously all the rocks, but a lot of the big ones that are really sticking out of the ground. You can see some of those are pretty big. And then out there, there's some as well.
Don't hurt yourself, jeez.
We get like these guys over here too, or not?
There's a helicopter.
No. Yeah.
Is that life light? Wow.
It doesn't seem like the whole field is bad, but you can see we hit sections, or he hit sections, where it's very rocky.
Whoa.
This one's huge.
Be careful. Jeez.
The boulder. First bucket's full. We don't really want to drive through our newly planted corn, but he doesn't want to go all the way around, so we're only going to drive through it one time. And then we're going to meet him out at this end.
Look at that. Oh, jeez.
That's not what I was gonna do. I can get it, I think.
It's very windy to talk, but if you guys have been following along since last video, you'll know that we dug this ditch to run a new drain line from our house. And we are now backfilling it in. We're not sure if we're gonna have enough soil after taking the sod out, but we're gonna find out here in a couple minutes. That's pretty nice too. It's the next day. Yesterday was Sunday. We didn't really want to do much more than what we did just because it's Sunday and we try not to work too much. But later in the day, it got very, very windy, like extremely windy. And I don't know if you remember, but that red hay wagon sat right here by this irrigation wagon, and the wind actually blew that wagon all the way across the pasture, which is crazy because you can see how many holes are in it. The wind kind of just blows right through it. Also, we had the tires turned like not downhill, so it wouldn't do that. So that was one crazy thing. And the next thing I'm gonna show you is way worse than that. We had another wagon sitting right here, which is that metal wagon right there. Now that one I can understand catches wind more because it's got solid sides on it. But regardless, we had the irrigation pipe running from here up to our coal crop field, and from here down to the pepper field. And what happened was the wind blew that wagon over here, over top of the pipes, bending them literally in half, destroyed that one, this one, and that one. We're very lucky actually that it didn't actually blow down over the hill and go into the pond, but still, like, what are the odds? That's never ever ever happened to us. And yesterday it just got wicked out. So, you know, it is what it is now, but these pipes are not cheap, I can tell you that. And now a lot of them, well, maybe they can be fixed up. Like if this end, which we can remove, is, you know, not bad, we can cut the pipe off somewhere here where it's not bent no more and then reuse the rest. But now look at, this one is also bent down here. So that pipe is almost junk. This one we could probably cut off and make a little tiny pipe, which wouldn't be a bad thing. This one we can do the same because that one's bent as well.